While it sounds like a no-brainer that diversity is actually required to be able to cater to diverse group of people who are the target audience, why there are challenges for organizations to adapt to such a strategy?
I mean, it's a very loaded question, I would say, because there is no one reason why organizations don't want to do it, right? One could be that any change, especially when it comes to change of mindsets and cultures of bringing somebody who doesn't look like you,
Mm.
who doesn't, have the same experiences, the same background. Maybe they don't eat the same food as you. They don't have the same last names as you. Creates discomfort, right? As humans, we are used to familiarity, and familiarity gives us some comfort. And the moment you're trying to shake things up by bringing people who are different, it gets uncomfortable. It gets uncomfortable for many reasons, right? It could be because of some of the biases and stereotypes that we are exposed to while we are growing up, right? We have so many biases with respect to religions today. We have so many biases with respect to caste. The languages that we speak, there is so many different groups. At workplaces, we tend to form these groups, right? So anytime you want to make a change and uh, shake the status quo, there is always discomfort. The question is, why do we want these people in? Will they fit in with our culture if you're hiring them? What about people who are already there, right? For example, the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender community, we are all there. It's just that we may not be open about it. We may be your boss, we may be your client, we may be your vendor. Just we're not open about it. So if someone is just sitting there and cracking transphobic jokes, making fun of trans people, and there is actually someone there who is trans, you can imagine how they feel, right? So uh, it is uncomfortable for people to get used to change. That is one reason. I would also say that it requires effort, right? Organizations to make this cultural change, to make this shift of mindset, it requires efforts. It's not about, sometimes organizations resort to a shortcut where they do events and they call some speakers, and through that they will say that, you know what, we are all very inclusive. We love to see your experiences. We'll call a person with disability, LGBTQ person. They'll call somebody from a religion, and they'll just try to show that we have a diverse community here, and we are everything is okay. But you really need to go and drill down the levels, right? And see, are is everybody being promoted at the same rate? How does your senior management look like? How does your board members look like? Are they all men? Are they all a certain gender? Do you have anybody who is openly transgender, openly gay, openly lesbian? If they are not, then why not? How many people with disabilities do you even have? Are they only in the entry level roles? Is there anybody who is a manager? Right? How does the caste demographic look? So all these things require you to analyze, introspect, understand. And if the answer is no, I don't even have such people, or I don't know enough, it means you have created some barrier somewhere, right? Maybe those people are not even coming into the organization. Why are they not coming into the organization? Maybe your hiring process needs to be looked at. No? Maybe there is some barriers to entry in the hiring itself. Maybe you put a big visual image there saying, I have a job opening. That image was not able to be read by a blind person who was using a screen reader. So they didn't even know that there was job opening because you put out an image which is inaccessible to them, right? Maybe your interview room was, maybe the trans person who was getting to the interview place was kicked out by the security guard. She was not even allowed to come inside. So your recruitment process will not magically become inclusive. You have to do effort, and you have to sensitize at every level that there is, right? Including the staff, at the security, at the housekeeping, and other things. So all of this requires effort, and it requires time and effort and investment in terms of budgets as well, right? To make changes in systems, processes, infrastructure also requires budgets. So I think these are all maybe the deterrents to being inclusive. But I would say the biggest deterrent is the mindset of leadership to even do this, to say, why do we even need to be inclusive? Sometimes can become the biggest barrier to do anything related to inclusion.